Everyone, and welcome to another edition of Ict Today. Given the ongoing transformation of industries and the revolutionary impact on our lives and work driven by AI, it is increasingly evident that the advantages of this technology should be universally available. Imagine the AI world as a club where only a select few get to make the rules. This can keep others out, stop fresh ideas from blooming, and create an uneven playing field. That is why the potentials of blockchain and AI joining forces is so exciting. It is like the possibility of building a more open and fair space for everyone. By decentralizing AI, we can democratize access to this powerful technology, enabling a more equitable distribution of benefits and opportunities. Blockchain's decentralized architecture can provide a framework for transparent, secure, and community-driven AI development. To this end, I have joining me virtually FAYEMI Daniel, OLUWATOSIN, all the way from Toronto, Canada, and we will be looking at blockchain and AI, decentralization and democratization. Decentralized AI has the potential to address several shortcomings of traditional AI models, which include data monopolization, lack of transparency, bias and fairness, and many more. I will take this short break, and when I return, my guest and I will do justice to decentralization and democratization of AI. My name is Abimbola Ilori, and you are watching Ict Today.
Wireless networking myth debunked. The myth is that adding more access points will solve all Wi-Fi problems. But the fact is, poor placement, overlapping channels, and interference can cause issues even with multiple APs. The myth is more bars means better Wi-Fi, but in actual sense, signal strength doesn't guarantee good performance. Factors like interference, channel congestion, and device capabilities play a huge role. The myth is 5 GHz is always better than 2.4 GHz. But the fact is, 5 GHz is great for speed and density, but doesn't travel as far and cannot penetrate obstacles very well. 2.4 GHz is better for wider coverage and penetration. The myth is hiding the SSID makes Wi-Fi more secure, but in actual sense, hidden SSIDs can still be discovered by attackers and often cause connectivity headaches for legitimate users.
Okay, so Daniel, thank you for joining us on the show today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. Let me start by saying that we know about different AI models, their versatility, ease of use, and a wide range of applications across various industries. The most widely used and the most popular ones in the industry, the likes of ChatGPT, DeepL, Canva, and the likes. But my question, let me come in with this. My question is, what is decentralized AI and how does it differ from traditional AI? Or, I mean, those ones that I've mentioned earlier.
Okay, thank you for that question. So AI, as we know it, is really a centralized field, which means like companies and big privatized institutions are the ones that are mostly using this technology. What decentralized AI means is to spread the control, the usage, and the tools to get AI to a much better place. We want to spread it to everybody. We want a regular person on the street to be able to use and to build AI. We want the training of data to be spread across the world, so everybody, all cultures, all languages can also benefit in AI and its fruits that it will produce. So decentralized AI is just like making AI accessible to everybody.
Okay, thank you very much. Going by what you said now, by your explanation, Decentralized AI, obviously, it's different from traditional AI models. I want you to share with us how blockchain technology can enable decentralization of AI.
Yes. So what blockchain technology is for every sector, like we have seen in the financial sector, it removes the middleman. It makes it more clearer. It makes it more transparent. So, for example, if if blockchain is integrated with AI, it will be very clear how a model was designed, who designed it, what data was used to design. All this data will be stored on the blockchain, publicly available for everybody to see. So there is no issue of there is a backdoor or they are stealing data. Everything is going to be publicly accessible and publicly able to be viewed. Just like how right now you can track every Bitcoin or every Ethereum transaction on the blockchain, the same way it's going to be for AI.
Okay. Well, that's detailed enough, and I can't say less, but that breakdown, making it accessible to everyone, no backdoor access, and it's going to be centralized, making it accessible for everyone is detailed. Nevertheless, I want you to tell us, in simple terms now, we have talked about decentralization. What is democratization? I mean, democratizing AI, its benefits, and how it can impact the society.
Yes. So democracy is a very great thing to have, and it is also good to have it in our tools and things like AI. So AI, democratizing AI means taking data from everybody. So there's a current thing that is going on that AI is mostly in English, or is most of the functionality is majorly limited to English, and that is because these people that create this AI and the place they get data from is geared mostly to the English or the English-speaking countries. So democratizing it means it is open to everybody. Everybody inserts their culture and their language into this data. So, for example, if we have a fully democratized AI, Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa people can also add their data into this pool, making AI more geared to everybody instead of just a single aspect of people.
Having gone through the introduction, we have done the basics of the introduction, the democratization, the decentralization, and your analogy of democracy, taking data from everybody, integrating it into one subset, is actually explicit enough. Having gone through that, now let us look at the applications of decentralized AI. I want you to briefly give examples of decentralized AI applications.
So we have one, Lusana. Lusana AI, what they do is they make the tools for creating AI accessible to everybody. So let me give this example. I know we have NVIDIA, and now NVIDIA is what's used to power the AI infrastructure. Not everybody can get their hands on NVIDIA, but what AI does, it creates a connection between people who have this NVIDIA and people who don't. So someone in Ict can access this NVIDIA they do not have, and they can create blockchain, which will not be possible if they don't have this thing. So that is one. Another is Ocean Protocol. So Ocean Protocol helps people that want to use that data to feed AI. It helps them do that securely and helps them do it. They'll get paid, and their data is also going to be secured. And every time it is being used, they are going to get paid for it. It's more like putting the control back in the hands of the users, apart from like the way we traditionally have it, where the corporation will hold all the user data.
Blockchain technology does offer enhanced data security and can contribute to data privacy, as we have seen it with decentralized finance. but it is not inherently perfect or universally applicable. However, speaking of decentralized AI, how can it improve data privacy and security?
Okay, thanks for that question. So the way blockchain AI aims to fix data privacy and security in AI is in a way separating the data layer from the models. So there is no reason why, for example, you have to go on the website and access ChatGPT. Blockchain wants to decentralize it and bring each model to each person's device. So imagine on your phone, you have AI on your phone, which is not connected to any remote server or any company, but you can run it locally. Your data is stored locally. That is a very good type of security. We have had issues recently of people complaining that, oh, I was running my idea through a particular AI and then it stole my idea. That is because you are using a centralized AI. Bringing that AI to your own device, either to your phone or your laptop, you can use it and it only works with your data and you can train it the way you want to. Every layman should be able to use and train their AI how they want it to be and not rely on a centralized one. So these are part of the problem that centralized AI is trying to solve. And I know that it is already improving in that aspect and it still has a little bit of work to do.
Okay. Decentralization is actually the key because if I have an idea, like you said, and I'm running it through an AI model, and that idea is hijacked, then it is actually a shortcoming on the part of the traditional AI. So we have looked at the application of decentralized AI, and you have broken it down to a barest minimum where we can understand. Now let's talk about practical challenges and limitations. It is a known fact that there is no perfect system. You will agree with me. I mean, in order to build a particular system, you must sometimes you tear down some applications and rebuild again. So what are the technical challenges of building decentralized AI systems? And in your experience, how will they be addressed?
Okay, so the biggest problem we are faced in this industry in trying to decentralize AI is that it is hard to compete with some of the larger corporations because they have thousands, they have the hardware for it. So, for example, you go to some AI or data farms and you see thousands of data chips, thousands of NVIDIA GPUs. Now, because they are all in the same building, they are all coordinated together, they can easily, with speed, get results, and it's more efficient. The problem we have is we have a lot of models, we have a lot of NVIDIA GPUs, but they are scattered around the world. Now, getting them to communicate, each of these devices have different speed, they have different network, internet speed, they have different people using them. Some people are not, they can go offline and come offline. But getting all this to be coordinated is one issue we have. And this can easily be solved by having some advanced consensus algorithm that can match these devices together and GPU together to compete with the centralized institutions. But I believe it is on the way, new things are coming every day, and that's the problem that can be solved.
Okay. So, looking at that such challenge and the limitations of accessibility and availability, how can a decentralized AI system ensure fairness? Now we want to look at the characteristics of the traditional AI. How can decentralized AI system ensure fairness, transparency, and explainability, as this is obviously lacking with traditional AI models? That is one question. Another one is regulatory compliance. It remains a complex issue, especially when data is processed across border. What are the regulatory implications of decentralized AI? In the traditional model, it is coordinated, it is regulated, the bias is there. So what are the implications of this decentralized now? Since I'm going to build my own AI, I can have my own GPUs all together in a station, in a data center, and build it, train it. So the implication, and how can policymakers support its development?
Okay, good, thank you. So just like we have seen in traditional finance versus decentralized finance,
Okay.
Decentralized finance is more open. The records are there. It is a ledger, so you can see everything that is done. So if it comes to decentralized AI, we can ensure fairness and transparency because the blockchain is transparent. You can see who trained the model. You can see what data was used to train the model. You can see the steps and every single entry of that model. So auditing it for government, it will be very easy because they can see that, oh, this was the person that trained the model, this was the steps, this was the data it was used. You can even see that there is no bias, or you can see there is bias. So it is easier for governments to look at this ledger and say, oh, there was no foul play here, or oh, there was foul play. So it makes auditing even easier, and it just goes to show that if you work well, if you work without bias, if you do your work diligently, you will get audited by the government or wherever you're trying to break into, and it's going to be accepted. If you do a bad work, it's going to be obvious on the blockchain. If you do a good work, it's going to be obvious on the blockchain. So this is already blockchain is already transparent and fair by design. So applying it to AI even makes it better and more and easily auditable.
Yeah, actually, that's what I wanted to say about blockchain because of its transparency and fairness in its own system and characteristics, so to say. I don't know if you are aware of the crashed CBEX scandal that happened in Nigeria in the last 2 days. I want to believe that part of the transparency feature of blockchain, that's what enabled the stakeholders, so to say, to actually track where the money was moved to, the fund was moved to, and what it was used for. So I believe that using blockchain to build that technology, to build on blockchain technology to decentralize AI, actually would give us an open field, and every information, every data, every bias, if so to say there is any, will be feasible. That's a very good one. So as we begin to round off, what are the potential use cases for decentralized AI in industries? I want you to digress a bit to the practical use now. I want you to mention areas like aviation, in the financial sector, education, and healthcare.
Yes, so this is a good one. So I would say the first one is healthcare. So everybody wants their health data to be kept for themselves. They don't want just anybody to have their health data. Your people cherish this. But for drugs to be made, for new inventions to be made, we need to be able to take data of the sample size and do it. But in a way, we are also contributing to the development of the drug. So you should be compensated for that. So now there are startups that are aiming to give users, healthcare users, control of that data to be able to feed AI or train models to be able to, for example, self-diagnose issue. So what they are doing now is making the healthcare data, you can go submit your healthcare data, do tests, submit it on the blockchain, and then that data becomes can be used to feed other AI models that want to learn So doing that, you are going to get compensated for that, and still also your data is going to be private. They can only use it to train the model, but they cannot keep the data. So this is a few ways to use. Also in finance, using AI for centralized AI for credit systems, using centralized AI to apply credit to people is also something that is being used. There are a lot of startups there. In education, I'll bring this home. There's no reason why we should be using an AI model that was trained to teach American children when we can bring it locally. We can train models in school. We can even do it school by school, class by class, where it takes the data for each and every individual student and is able to imagine a system like that. You create an AI system that for a particular class, it gives the way to teach each and every student in the way they are going to understand it. So this is the power of centralized AI, taking AI away from the centralized party and bringing it home, bringing it to every single person that that needs it and uses it in the way they also want to use it.
Okay. Yeah, that actually that actually breaks the barrier and the bias. Yeah, you know, with a model like one of the things that I have noticed about some data structures used in training AI is the bias. It has always been a major issue. If you prompt any system to just of late, anyways, there has been significant improvement. But at the early stage when AI and image generation, the models are introduced, when you prompt for any office or environment or anything that you prompt is not going to generate anything close to home, like you've brought your scenario back home now. So our own structure, our own curriculum, the repetitive nature of it, the syllabus can be trained such that it will suit our own structure here. Yeah, that's explicit, that's exclusive. I like that. So finally, I want you to tell us, how do you see decentralized AI? I want us to look at the future, the evolution. In the next 5 to 10 years, we have seen blockchain transformed, evolved, and it has expanded beyond its initial focus. Initially, blockchain was on cryptocurrency, was for cryptocurrency. Now we use it to monitor supply chain. The security area is there. So how do you see decentralized AI in the next 5-10 years?
So the way I see if blockchain digs deep into the AI ecosystem, I see more increased individual data protection, in the sense that your data will be able to be kept, managed, and used by you. That is a very big thing. And also, I see a more wider range of blockchain intelligence. So, an AI is only as intelligent as the data that trains it. You get, so what we are going to see happen is people from Nigeria, people from Asia, people from Australia, people from all parts of the earth are going to be able to collaborate on certain models, which increases the reasoning of AI, which increases the reasoning of these models. That when you tell it to prompt some things, it will be able to prompt multiple things and not just a section of the world. It is going to be like a child learning different languages, because blockchain, it's now in a child's in its infancy state. And I believe the more people teach it, not just centralized on one area, the more people that teach it and contribute into it, it will affect it when it gets to a more developed stage. So yes, blockchain AI has come to stay, but the way we approach it further is going to dictate how far and how well it's going to go. So I'm taking, and I'm also urging everybody to take a more decentralized role in the way they are approaching AI, to make AI more diverse, more inclusive, fair, open, and more secure.
Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. Daniel, it's been an amazing time having you today. Sincere appreciation, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
Okay. Democratizing AI means making AI tools and resources available to everyone, not just big tech. It brings more innovations from different corners of the world, opens up opportunities, and ensures AI is trained on diverse data, so it works better for all kinds of people. Blockchain adds the trust layer. It allows systems to run without a middleman, records every action transparently, and use smart contracts to reward contributors. When blockchain is combined with AI, it becomes possible to build systems that are open, verifiable, and secure, which is exactly what decentralized AI needs. That is our package for today. It has been a swell time on the show, but before I sign off, a quick reminder that you can follow us on all our digital and social media platforms. Subscribe to our channels and click on the bell icon to receive notification when we are live or upload new updates. Until next time when I return, this is a show where tech meets real life. And always remember that if it is digital, it is part of ICT.